Hi, everyone. Let me see, do we have some more? Oh, it looks like we have some more popping in. Suzanne's here. Hi, everyone. Thank you all for joining. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, great. Oops, actually, I should probably keep that open so I can see if anybody's comes late. Hi, Suzanne. Just off a call with you. Hi, everyone. Some of you I recognize. My name is Leah Simpson. I'm a project manager here at CKC Consulting. Today, I'm located in Miami. I've been with CKC for a little over 2 years now as a project manager. Today, we will be talking about data visualization. Yeah, data visualization. I'd like to go around and have everyone introduce yourselves. You can be brief, say your name, where you live, and you can talk about, whatever you want, whatever type of firm you work for, your company name, that would be great. We can start with, I have Anna next to me. I'm not sure if, okay, I'm not sure if your mic works. We can come back to you, Anna. So we can go with Amber.
Hello, I'm Amber, and I work out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we work for a construction company, Carl Sanderson, larger GC.
Nice to see you as always. Lena.
Hi, Liana. I am here in Portland, Oregon at ZGF, and I guess been here a little bit over a year.
Great, nice to meet you. Welcome. Suzanne.
Hi, my name is Suzanne. I'm the CRM administrator for Colliers Engineering. I've been here for about 3 years.
Thank you for coming. I have Craig.
Hi, Craig Park, principal with Clark and Anderson Architects out of Lincoln, Nebraska, though I'm based in Charleston, South Carolina, and a longtime SMPS member, wrote the chapter on CRM for the marketing handbook.
Nice.
So I'm curious to see now, 20 years later, how we're illustrating that information.
Nice. Welcome. Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia. I am the marketing specialist at Wolson, and I've been here for a little under a year. So
Great. Nice to meet you. Cassidy.
I'm Cassidy. I'm a marketing and proposal coordinator for Wigan Construction out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. I've been here for about 6 years.
Great.
I'm in Greenwood.
Lakers. Alexandria Brown.
Hi, I'm Alexandra. I am with Kaufman and Construction, a senior marketing manager, and long time in SMPS, really long time.
Nice. Welcome. Nice to meet you. We have Melanie.
Hi, I'm Melanie. I am marketing and business development manager for McCullough, and I've been here for 2 years in San Diego.
Nice to meet you. I love San Diego. Kelsey.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kelsey Hilmis. I'm a senior marketing coordinator at Parametrics.
Nice to meet you. Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Neely. I'm a business development coordinator at Park Hill in Frisco.
Nice to meet you. Annalise.
Hi, Annalisa DeVore. I'm with Dudek, an environmental consulting and engineering firm. I'm out of San Francisco/Oakland, California, and I am our marketing information systems manager. So all data, nothing but data.
Nice. I just moved, well, I guess I say just, but I just moved from Oakland to Miami, so missed the Bay.
Oh,
Kelly.
Hi, my name is Kelly Schmidt, Kelly Niehoff, excuse me, I was late to and I work for Windover Construction. We are a general contractor based in Massachusetts, and I am the manager of partner development.
Nice to meet you. Ooh, we have a full house today. Looks like Joe is just hopping on, so I'm gonna skip to Kayla and I'll come back to Joe while he maybe gets settled in. Kayla, can you hear us? No, okay. I can go to Amy or Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy Bomer. I'm the Director of Marketing and Business Development for Tool Design Group. I've been with them for 15 years.
Great, nice to meet you. And then we have Angela.
Hello, Angela Ritchie with Stanley Consultants, an A&E firm. I'm out of Salt Lake City.
Great, nice to meet you. And Joe.
Yeah, good afternoon. Joe Kolzinski with Mead and Hunt. We're architectural engineering and construction firm headquartered out of Wisconsin. And I'm a vice president and head up our business development for our food and beverage group.
Nice to meet you. Okay, and the two we skipped were Anna and Kayla. I don't know if either of your mics are working. If you want to try, otherwise we can move forward. No, okay. All right, well, thank you so much for coming. So data visualization. Would anyone like to discuss or talk about how you visualize your data for your firm? Do you use dashboards or do you do A3s or PowerPoint? Kind of, how do you visualize your data? Do you use Power BI?
This is Angela Ritchie in Salt Lake City. We have been using Power BI as of late. And we do use some dashboards and, of course, the all-famous Excel spreadsheet.
Nice. And what CRM platform are you using? I probably should have asked that as well.
Yeah, we're using Vantage Point.
Vantage Point. Okay, great. So are you pulling in data automatically into Power BI to
Yes.
do that, or are you manually extracting?
We're auto-populating using
Open
a
API.
direct link. Yep.
Yeah, nice. And then, so how do you have like dashboards that your users are?
Yes, well, they're kind of like dashboards. It's relatively new to us, so yeah, they're coming along.
Great. Nice. Is anyone else using dashboards or Tableau or anything like that? I'm sorry, Power BI or Tableau to help visualize their data?
we use, we're on Vantage Point, so it does have some built-in dashboards, but we don't love how they work all the time. A user's ability to filter the dashboard is a lot harder because there's sort of like this single search thing at the top, whereas Power BI can have a bunch of discrete drop downs that's a little bit easier. So for things that are going to require that, it's not just a firm-wide understanding, sort of KPI. I want to see my discipline, my division. We do spend the time and effort to get those over into Power BI so that people can have that kind of granular view.
Oh, great. That's awesome. So do you do that through a data connector, some data connector, or is it a manual extract and upload?
It is a data connector. IT owns it, which means it's a heck of a lot of coordination if you want to change which fields are being communicated between the two. So if there's another way to do it, or if it's just a one-off kind of request, in that scenario, I would do like a one-time export. You want to report on year to date by this metric that isn't in the Power BI connector currently. Let's just run that for you once now, and if it turns out to be a thing you need to look at every morning, then we'll talk.
Yeah, nice. How about anyone else? Anyone else have some good dashboards or way they're visualizing their data?
At CGF, we are in Deltek Vision, so we are using Power BI pretty extensively, as much as we can, wherever we can, to get some better visualization.
That's great. That's great. That's great to hear so many people are using Power BI. It's such a powerful tool. Are any others using Power BI or wanting to get into Power BI and have any questions that you want to maybe?
I'd love to start using Power BI for our organization, but I have a hard time trying to figure out where to start.
Yeah, well, I think you and I can probably work on that now that we've finalized some of the other large projects. I think it is, Rebecca, I think you might have a lot of feedback coming in.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds like is there a foghorn behind you or is it?
No, I'll just say what I have to say quickly and then I'll mute.
Okay, yeah.
I was just gonna say we have also been using Power BI and use Vantage Point, but we haven't quite figured out how to get that connection. So if anyone has any tips or knows how to do that, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it seems like some people on here are using those same systems, so that would probably, does anybody using Vantage Point know how you are connected? What services you're using to connect? Is it like a?
We have a direct link. So it's pulling data directly from our data warehouse.
Okay. Okay, so you're dumping all your data into a data warehouse and then Power BI is pulling that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome. That's good.
So I've been using Vantage Point and use the dashboards there, and I'm pretty generally pretty happy with the way we are able to layer our filters in there. So I'm not familiar with Power BI. I'm curious to hear a little bit more what the advantages are there, other than it does look prettier. But considering that you've got to transfer data over, just want to hear a little bit more about that.
I mean, I think
it.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I think it makes it just a little easier for users to access the data and not have to understand Vantage Point, for instance. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'd concur. It's the UI UX, more than just being prettier. The ability to build a search. A lot of people's brains don't work the way Vantage Point wants them to work. And so having just a series of clear drop downs, it's like, okay, project manager is me, client sector is energy, and just boom, 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 going left to right and seeing all of them at once, rather than going up into the project search at the top of your project dashboard and Vantage Point and then adding the parameters. It's a lot easier for our users. It's a lot more intuitive.
Also, I think probably an advantage of using something like Power BI is that you can connect many systems into the one dashboard. So you can connect your CRM, your accounting, or if you have something like a Bridget or a HubSpot, you can take all of that data and then have it displayed on one dashboard and have it measured against each other instead of, if you're just using your CRM, you're only using your CRM data. So a lot of people will take their CRM data, so their opportunities, their projected revenue, right? And then have their actuals coming in, and then you can have a more accurate count of forecasting of your data. So that's one thing that would be helpful about putting it into a Power BI.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, awesome.
I would say, like, one reason that there are some things we don't do in Power BI is that we do have Power BI's information update overnight. And sometimes a project manager, if it has to do with financials or something like that, or even win-loss, they'll go through, they'll clean up their win-loss records, they'll boom, 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 deal with all of them, and they want to see the pie chart have the wedges change shapes because they, just cleaned up the records and they want to see it now. And that instant gratification I think that that's one of the things that's nice about having it in the same system instead of having the lag time of the overnight syncing process required for Power BI.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sometimes the dashboards within your CRM, yeah, can be well, one typically, at least in Uninet, which is what I typically use, there's not much explanation you can put into what each widget is displaying. You know, you have like a really brief window, you can put a sentence in there. But in Power BI, you're able to put more detail and highlight and say exactly what's in this and have a narrative around what you're looking at and really point things out. But the nice thing about having it in your CRM is that it can just be a quick snapshot. What's my win rate, right? Like very simple. I make this update, I can see it now, and it's just going to show me some high level stats. And there's definitely value in that. But if you want to create an executive summary for your entire company or your C-suite or something like that, Power BI is definitely where you're going to want to do that because you can really slice and dice and have narrative put next to your data. So that's awesome. Great. Does anyone, so outside of Power BI, what else is anybody else using? Because not everybody is using Power BI. Are you guys putting stuff into Excel and bringing it to life or pulling it into your like PowerPoints?
Yeah, we're doing that. We're pulling to Excel and then producing PowerPoints for monthly summaries. But we're moving from Vision to Vantage Point and want to start on this one. I'm curious about the Power BI League.
Yeah.
Now we can just grab the data that way.
Yeah. The Power BI is such a strong tool to be able to go ahead.
I'm sorry, I had a question. Has
Yeah.
anybody who is in Vantage Point and who uses Power BI developed a workaround for that lack of instant gratification? Has anyone come up with a great idea to get Power BI to update more frequently?
I mean, you can tell Power BI to update more frequently, but we do it at night because it causes performance slowdowns.
Yeah.
Like it's going to make something run slower somewhere. And having it do it during working hours, like weighing the cost benefit, everyone just has to learn a little bit of patience on that one because it is a data hungry process, apparently.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've seen some people have a button that you can push to refresh it. So that's probably something you could look into if it's not something that's running like every 5 minutes or something. But you know, you're like, I need this right now for a presentation. You probably could look into doing a refresh button. Anyone else have any questions let's see. Okay, there's some, I think people are introducing themselves in the chat here. Does anyone else have anything that they'd like to share of what they're using or want to share how they're using Power BI in different ways?
I love using Power BI for like everything, and especially anything that doesn't need to be in my CRM. So if I'm doing a survey of, company satisfaction with some tool that we launched, I will absolutely put that in Power BI instead of Excel so that I can use the same graphs. And then when I'm presenting it to one practice group and they're like, I don't care how engineering feels about this. I want to hear how my team feels about this. I can just boop, boop, and it'll reconfigure it. And you can embed the Power BI reports in PowerPoints. So just bringing the Power BI into PowerPoint, having all of the numbers just automatically, gracefully reconfigure themselves. It has a little bit of a wow factor, which when you're talking numbers, it can be hard to get that wow factor. It's a lot of very graphic oriented people. And like I will use it anytime I have a data set of like 5 or more, and I can find an excuse to bring it into the conversation.
Yeah, that's awesome. Has anyone used or looked into extending it to beyond pursuits and maybe forecasting and using it for like resource planning or even pursuit planning? I've seen some firms pulling in, you know, personnel, because from accounting, you can pull in the projects, start and end dates of when people are on projects, right? And then you overlay it with their the types of projects that they work on. So if you're going on a pursuit, you can say, I need somebody who has healthcare experience, who's available within this time frame, and pulling those two data points in from your accounting and your CRM, you should be able to overlay that and have a list of who meets those criteria to help you understand who you should put on your pursuit. Interesting. I all of a sudden am realizing we have turned into a Power BI conversation instead of a data visualization conversation. But so hopefully everybody is interested in this topic. But is there how else is, and did anybody use Tableau? I don't know much about Tableau. Anyone? No. So just mostly PowerPoints is what I'm hearing, Excel. When you're displaying your data, do you put narrative or like stories around? Like, are you just presenting the graphs as they are, or are you actually having call outs like this is why this data point is low, or we hit this low spot because of X, Y, Z? Is anyone adding those types of narratives and stories along with their data?
You know, I've been a little quiet, but we use the internet. And so I use a lot of the widgets, and then obviously the PowerPoint, Excel, flowchart, or not flowcharts, but I can't even think of it now. But so we do that. Our company did just kind of introduce the Power BI, but it's more on the project management side. So this has been on my list for a long time to kind of just research how it could help us. We have the viewpoint connection from our accounting into our CRM, but then that other, that API to get it out into the Power BI, I don't know if, that's a huge cost too. So I don't know on our end if that was something that, so this is an interesting conversation because I've always really wanted to check that out to see, because it is more limited. So for me, it's that one line that you try to do it, and then if you throw it in a presentation, try to make it as much sense as you can in the title, I guess. But
yeah. Yeah, so for you, as far as Udinet, you have two options to do it in Data Lake, which you could pretty much do yourself by mapping everything in Data Lake over into Power BI, or you can do it similar to, I forget, maybe it's Angela or Amy. Angela maybe was saying that they use a data warehouse. So it can extract all your data from Udinet, all your data from Viewpoint, and then it's pulling it into, and then you select what, out of all that data, you select what you want to be displayed on Power BI, which is probably, again, you're going to maximize your data by doing it.
Yeah, I should probably talk to Courtney about that.
Yeah, Courtney will be able to help you. And Courtney has the person who will be able to, we can absolutely help you with that for sure. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Power BI is that you can really just like grab data from all your sources, as long as you know what is your source of truth, right? You grab the correct data from that specific system, marry them together, you're going to start having some powerful.
You're definitely the source of truth. Definitely on the marketing side versus the accounting or project management side. So we really have to hold that key because we're particular and they're not.
Yeah, no, I think all accounting software is that way. It's just, they're just typing, right? And we're like, what? We're like, you know what? You get your own field in my system. That's how special you are. You get your own field.
Well, that's why we have the basic shell come over. We just have the nitty gritty little stuff come over, and that's it.
Yeah, bare bones. Yeah. And then from that, you can just kind of have your references. Awesome. That's great. Anyone else interested in rolling out Power BI or a Tableau or a data warehouse, or wondering what is a data warehouse? I know I kind of mentioned what that is, but
I have a question for Power BI. users because I've been dealing with a Vantage Point launch, so I have had to just focus on that for the last 9 months. But Copilot, the Microsoft Copilot AI can allegedly, you can enter just a natural language request for the report you want it to create, and it will just do it. So you've got your data lake, you've got your data warehouse, you've got whatever your sources are, and you can just say, tell me our, year to date win loss by project sector in a pie chart. Like I haven't tried it, but it sounds like you could just type that in and then it would just do it. Has anyone tried it?
I've used it a little
but I'm
bit.
interested.
I found that using ChatGPT to give you the docs code works a little better. I don't know why, but for me, I've just found that's easier just to ask ChatGPT. I tell it what fields I have, what data I have, and then it spits out the code, and then I build it, and that has worked really well.
Yeah, I know my team has had several webinars and presentations on that. I personally have not done it, but my counterpart Courtney and C Vance, and then our owner Courtney, they have done that quite a bit. I'm not sure if we have another presentation coming up. I'm sure we can probably give you a link to some webinars that we've put on about that. But it is true, you can put it in. However, you typically have to be very specific with your request of what you want, and also be very careful about what you put in, especially if it's in a public forum, because anyone has access to that data. So those are typically the things you want to be cautious of, but the AI can do some really cool things for sure. Awesome.
I was curious if anyone here is an AEC 360 user at all. Yes, I see one nod. Okay, just curious. I'm hearing a lot of Vantage Point, and I know we're in Vision and we're evaluating.
Oh, okay, using AEC. So who on here uses AE 360? Did someone? Or you were saying nobody said? I didn't see anyone saying.
Oh, I said I thought I saw a nod, but it could also be just a Vantage Point or, other crowd.
Yeah, I've met very few people that use it. I've heard, yeah. Are you in doing demos for it? Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Does anyone else have any other questions for anyone here, or want to pick someone's brain while we have 2 minutes left?
So the one thing I hate about Vantage Point is it can't do stacked bar charts.
Yes.
Can like when you're visualizing data and in your head you have a chart that is the right chart to convey this data, what do you do if that chart style isn't available in the software that you are obligated to use for some reason? Like, I feel like this is more of a mental block than anything. Like, how do I settle for second best? How do I select second best when the ideal way to convey this information is off the table due to a technological limitation?
Have you suggested it in Deltek's idea portal?
I've suggested a lot of things. I should double check that I have explicitly cried about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be frustrating. Are you trying to look at like market sectors on top of like within?
Yep, it's like, I want to see win-loss. And within that, I want to see who's making up most of that win-loss by sector or something like that, There's like the primary piece of information and then secondary. And yeah, I can export it to Excel and then I can make a thing, or I can,
but you're like, I want it right here. This is what I'm using.
It should be a stacked bar chart. My heart feels that this should be a stacked bar.
Yeah, it always amazes me where like systems like stop giving you something. You're like, but why did you stop right there? Like, just give me all of it. And, in other places they give you everything. And then some places they just stop somewhere. So yeah.
Honestly, that's part of the reason we kind of stopped using the dashboards with Vantage Point. It just wasn't providing us with everything that we needed.
Yeah. Yeah, there's unfortunately, yeah, there's limitations in so many of the systems, and that's what is so great about Power BI. But it's getting somebody to know how to use it and your IT and everybody to get it up and going. But once it is, it can be such a great tool. Well, awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining. I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and we look forward to seeing you guys at the next CRM chats.
Thanks. What a great resource you are.
Thank you. Bye.